Now, ask you again. How many female friends do you have?
None.
You have no female friends. Okay. I know you have a couple sisters. How many female friends do you think your sisters have?
None.
None. Why?
Women are messy.
Women are messy.
And
Majority.
A majority of them. Everybody's not the same.
Everybody's not the same. Once again, not all women are the same.
But a majority.
You're gonna say the majority. I'll say a lot. You're gonna say the majority. We gonna leave it at
We
that.
don't need it.
Okay. So we're gonna leave it at that. So, how is it that when we talk about this, there's so many women that act like men should just bow down, or it should be easy for a man to do X, Y, Z, with the plethora of women that are out there, and all of them are not the same. But there's so many that are hard to get along with. But it's supposed to be easy for a man to do whatever. But most of the times when it comes to that, it comes to a man having to bow down and overlook certain things that women won't overlook. They won't look these certain things for a friendship. But you want a man to overlook it for a relationship. We're just going to keep this on a fair ground. I don't want to say one's better than the other, but we're looking at it from a man's perspective. How can you keep a level playing field if I have to overlook stuff that you don't want to overlook? It's really at the point where everyone has to realize that there's no perfect person. So just as women have problems with men, men have problems with women, but we have too many people with talking points out here making it seem like women are perfect, men have to adjust. Okay, men have to adjust, women have to adjust. A circle is 360 degrees, you have to have that 180. But if a woman only has to give 130, 95, and the man has to give his 180 and compensate, and that's the only way for the relationship to work, that's not right. That's not right. Both parties should equally work. Now, when it comes to work, not saying that both have to put in, they have to put in the same amount of energy, but they don't have to do the same things. Both parties in the relationship should be spent from giving their all. Just my personal opinion. If a person goes into a relationship saying that the other person has to do X, Y, Z, and then go roundabout and start back at A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you have to ask, well, what do you plan on doing while this person is doing all of this? And if your answer is nothing, if you have 35 things that they have to do and you only have 2, you might need some soul searching. Because to be that close to perfection is unheard of. There has to be something else that has to be done. But you have to be willing. You have to be willing. Now, once again, I'm speaking from a man's perspective. Of course, a woman's perspective is going to be different. But until each party learns to listen, hear and listen, and understand, not listen to respond, but flip it to, what if this were me? I was watching a dude the other day. He was saying, and it makes sense. This just makes sense to me. He said, okay, he asked a woman, he said, well, you'd say these guys that want to date women, a guy shouldn't have a problem dating a woman with 4 kids. She's like, nah. Black men don't want to do this, and the woman has kids, then she just has kids, and and black men shouldn't be this. He said, okay, that's fine. You got that. So if you had a son, brilliant son, and your son comes to you and tells you he wants to date a woman that has 4 kids, 4 different babies, would you encourage it? He has more than one woman. None of these women would encourage their son doing anything, doing the same thing that they want other black men to do. So once again, we have to get past these biases and these prejudices. If you don't think it's a universal truth, then you shouldn't put it on anybody else. And that's where the problem lies. It's hard for you to defend your stance on something if you're always moving the goalpost. People will look at you like you full of crap. If it's only good when you do it, but everybody else has to work more for it. How's that right? Nah, it ain't right. And that's one of the main reasons why people can't get along. And I'm going past the male-female dynamic. I'm talking about, especially in this country, people in general. They want others to work while they lay back. They want to reap the benefits, but want nobody else to get those same benefits, even though those benefits may come from a different avenue. They don't want it, but they don't want others to have it, but they want to have it. They want to be the only ones. Everybody, there are too many people that want to be ahead of everyone else, but then look at the world as if it's equal. It's never been equal. So, as I said on my show before, you can look at the male-female dynamic in lots of instances the same way you can look at the black and white dynamic. There are a lot of instances where the basis, the foundation, has the same premise. There are lots where they have the same premise. So one day we just got to figure it out. We have solutions, but we got to be willing to work for it. It's your funky uncle at work preaching.
Yeah.